So in this tutorial, I'll take my time and explain everything, every step that I take so that my beginners and absolute beginners can actually follow the steps I go through to recreate this ETA style. In this tutorial, I'm going to teach you how to create this GTA style. Without talking much, let's get started. So I'll click on my new file and I've already choose my size. So my size is, the width is 3.6 and the height is 4. And I'll rename my document to GTA like that. My size is in inches, but if you are more familiar with pixels, you can also change it to pixels. So the width in pixels, the width is 1080 and the height is 1200. The resolution, as usual, 300. And I'll create my document. I'll bring in my resource to create this GTA style. So I'll scale up this layer. I'll click here. I'll rename this to sunset. Then I bring in another layer. For this one too, I'll scale it up a bit to fit the canvas nicely. I'll rename this one to C. I'll bring in my model layer. That is a female model. I'll name it female. I'm renaming all my layers for easy identification. And I bring in my male model. Okay. I'll rename male. I double click on the name to rename it. So if you are an absolute beginner and don't know how to rename, you double click on the name like this and you can rename it. So I'll turn off my male and female layer and turn on my C layer too. Then I'll work on the sunset layer. I need to clear off this kind of rocks from the sunset layer. So before I can clear off the rocks or the stones over here, I have to use content aware fill to do that job. But since my layer is in smart mode, I can't apply content aware fill on it. So I have to rasterize the layer first before I can use the content aware fill. So I'll right click and I'll go to rasterize layer. Then I select my lasso tool. Then I select it's like that. Then I right click, go to content aware fill. Then I'll allow Photoshop to do its job. I'll click apply and OK. I'll go to select, deselect. I think Photoshop did poor job, not a good job. But still, I'll hold control and select my sunset layer, and I right click and merge those two layers for it to become one, like this. Then I turn on my C layer. I click on my C layer, then I create layer mask. I make sure I select my brush tool. Then I make sure that my foreground color is black, so that when I paint that black, it acts as an eraser to erase this layer. It's a non-destructive form of erasing a layer. So I'll make sure my flow is a bit high. Let me go 21. It's okay. Then I make sure that my hardness is 0. I increase my brush size a bit. Then I start brushing it off. Have you seen it's revealing the underneath layer, this one? So I'm erasing the top part of this layer like that. So I'll take my time and I'll decrease the flow so that I can transition it nicely. Yeah, but the color of this C layer is different from the sunset layer, so I have to color correct the C layer for it to look similar, if not similar, same to this. So I'll select my C layer, click on adjustment, then I'll go for color balance, then I'll click here this clip to layer, so that it can only affect that layer, that is the C layer. Okay, I'll double click on that. Then you tweak the color balance, how you see it. Okay, I think this is looking similar. Yeah, but one thing I've noticed is my C layer is quite overexposed compared to the background, that is the sunset layer. So I'll go to adjustments again. I'll make sure that I've selected my color balance, go to adjustment, then I'll go to levels again, clip to layer, then I decrease the exposure a bit like that. There's no one specific adjustment that you need to do, but you can tweak it to the extent that you feel like it's okay in your eyes. I think it's okay now. I will start working on my female model. So I want to remove the background of my female model. This time around, I will use my pen tool to do that job. So I'll click on my pen tool. Then I make sure it's on path, not shape, path. Then I go around my model with the pen tool. After I'm done with my pen tool going around my female model, I right click and go to make selection, and I make sure that my feather radius is 0. I click on OK. I'll make sure that I've selected my female model. My female model is in smart mode. Again, I have to rasterize before I can remove the background, as we did on the sunset before we can use the content aware fill on it. So I'll select my female layer like that, right click, rasterize. As you can see, the selection of my female model, but we want to delete the background, not the female model. So now if I press delete, it will delete my female model, and I don't want that. So I'll press Ctrl Z to bring it back. I'll go to select, inverse, so that it can select the background, not the female model. Then I press delete to delete the background. So I'll do same process on my male model. I'll bring it in. I'll rasterize it before I use my pen tool on it. So as usual, I'll right click, make selection, OK, select, inverse. I've already rasterized my layer, so all I need to delete the background like that. Then I go to select, deselect. My male model layer looks smaller, so I'll press Ctrl T and scale him up like that. My female model is also large, so I'll scale her down. I'll make her smaller than the male to show, supremacy. I don't know. My next thing is I'll create layer marks for my female layer and my male layer. Then I'll select my brush, make sure that my foreground color is black so that we can erase the sharp edge of their bottom like that. We're going to make a smooth transition, I guess. I'll zoom in to get smooth one. Start brushing the edge like this. My flow is at 4. That is the reason why it's giving it a very smooth one. I'll select the layer mask of my female. I'll also do the same. I think it's okay now. So I will lock my sunset layer, this one, and my sea layer, so that I can select my two models and place them in the middle like this. Yeah, I think it's coming out nice. So the color of my male looks different from my female model. So I have to color correct my female model for her to look, if not same, quite closer to my male model. So I'll select my female model. I'll go to adjustment, color balance, as usual, clip to layer, then I'll color correct here. Like that. This the midtones that I'm correcting. You can change it to shadows and do same. Same as highlight. I think it's okay now, but I feel like the exposure is too much, so I'll come to adjustment again, levels, clip to layer, then I decrease the exposure like that. Yeah, I think it's okay. So I'm going to apply some effects on my male model layer and my female model layer for it to look cartoonish, something like that. So I'll select my male layer and I'll go to filter gallery. Let me delete these. The first one is poster edges, as you can see. Then you can tweak your posterization to how you want it to look like. So I'll decrease my posterization like that. I'll try tweaking the intensity to see. Go low the thickness. Yeah. Then I'll add rough pastels to it. You can also tweak it to your liking. I think it's okay. Click OK. I'll select my female model. I'll do same to her. Go to filter gallery. And I'll click OK. Yeah. So now I'm going to create a sun behind my two models. So I'll come below my female model and I'll select the ellipse to, then I create the ellipse and I'll hold shift to create a perfect ellipse. I think there is some fault over here. The ellipse has created on top of my female, but I'll bring it below my female layer like that. Yes. I'll place it nicely where I want it. Then I'll select my ellipse and I change the color to yellow. Yeah. Then I'll duplicate my ellipse layer like that. Now change the top one, the blending mode of it. I think I should go for linear dodge. Yeah. Then I add a bit of Gaussian blur to give it the glow. I'll blur the top one too. Yeah, I think it's coming out nice. Then I'll create another ellipse on top of it like this, and I'll hold shift again to create a perfect one. Select my move tool and I place it here. But for this one now, I'll choose a different color, that is white. Yeah, then I blur it a bit, Gaussian blur. Yeah, I'll tweak the blending mode if any blending mode will help me here this time around. I don't think none will help, so I'll take the normal like that, and I'll try to decrease the opacity to see if it will work. I think this is okay. Then I'll create the layer on top of the ellipse, the white ellipse, like this. This time around, I'll use my brush tool and I'll go for a special brush. I'm too lazy to download any special brush, so I'll use the inbuilt brushes. So I'll go for Cal Concept Brush Foliage Mix 2. So I'll go for that one. Then I'll make sure that the color is orange. And I'll change the blending mode to overlay. Then I'll paint like that. I think the flow is very little. Yeah. I just don't like the overlay. Let me change it. So I'll go for vivid light. I think it looks quite nice and okay. Then I'll go to filters, blur, Gaussian blur. I'll blur it a bit, not that much. Yeah. My next thing that is I'll bring in my palm trees like that. Yes. So I'll send my palm tree below my female layer, but my palm trees are together, but I want to separate the left palm tree from the right one and also separate the right one from the left one. So I'll rasterize my layer like this. Let me bring it on top for you to see it very well, like this. Yeah. So I'll select my lasso tool, then I'll select the right part, then I press Ctrl J. When I press Ctrl J, it will make a copy of the layer, but it will only include the selected parts. So let me press Ctrl J. After pressing Ctrl J, realize that it has created another layer that contains only the selected part. That is what we want. Now select the bottom layer again. Use the same lasso tool. Select the left part like that. I press Ctrl J to make the copy of the same layer, but this time around only the left part. That is what we want. Then I click on this layer and I delete it because it's of no use now. Then I bring my two layers, so I'll hold Ctrl, click here, so that I can bring it below my female layer, just below my female layer. Be careful if you place it between these clips, that is the color balance, you messed up things. So make sure that you place it below the female layer. Now let me work on the layer 2, this one. Press Ctrl T so that I can rotate it a bit like this. Yeah, and I'll work on this one too. Ctrl T, I'll scale it up a bit and rotate it like that. Okay, I think it's coming out nicely. The next thing is I'll create a text. So I'll type what I want to. So this time around I want to use shut down. Let me change the color of my text so that I can see it. So I double click on my text, come to my color, and I change it to black. Then I change the size to 72 pixels. I think it's too large. Double click. Let me go for 60. Yeah, I think 60 looks okay. Oh, yeah. I'll duplicate my text layer like that. Then I'll bring the copy down. Then I'll change it to down. I feel like my text is too big. Let me decrease it to 48. Yeah, I think 48 looks okay. So I'll change my text color to yellow. So I'll copy my color code of yellow. I'll press OK. Then I'll select the down like that. Come to the color, right click, and then paste the same color code. Yeah. I'll duplicate the shutdown. Control J. Then I turn off the first one. Then I bring it down a bit. Then I change the color to, let me go for orange, or yeah, let me go for this deep orange. And I copy the color code. Then I duplicate the down one also. Then I turn on the original one. Then I bring the copy down a bit like that. Double click. Then I change the color, right click, and I paste the color like this. So when I turn on the original ones, it will create this 3D style, but I want the layer, the yellow, to be on top. So I'll bring the yellow on top. This one to same. Then I'll push them and for it to look nice. Yeah. Let me zoom in to make better changes like that. I think it looks nice like this. Yeah. So let me bring in my tag tools. Let me bring it on top of all the layers like that. I use my lasso tool. Now make sure that I select this. I just want to delete this gold one. I want just the grade one. So I right click and rasterize the layer first before I can delete. I press delete to delete that one. Go to select, deselect, then I press Ctrl T so that I can manipulate it to how we want it. From here you can, make your own style like that. I think I should place it below the text. Let me see. No, let me bring it on top like that. Let me bring in my gun. As usual, rasterize. Use my lasso to select the down one because I want to delete it. Press delete. Go to select, deselect. Then I bring my gun like that. Control T. Let me try rotating it and see if it looks nice. I think, yeah. From here you can add a lot of things. Yeah, so let me add some text down here. Let me decrease the size of the text. I should copy. Let me change the color to yellow. Yeah. Let me copy. Control C, Control V, Control V, Control V, Control V. You can type anything there, but I don't have time to type anything. So I use my enter to align them well. Control V again. Yeah. I think it's okay now. Then I select this part and I press Control A to select all the text. Then I align it to the center like this. Press OK. Then I place it here. Press Control. Sorry, I have to select all so that I can change the color to the yellow that I want. Yeah, but I made a mistake because I didn't change my text to the GTA style text, so I have to change them. For the shutdown, I have to click like that and I change it to my GTA. I'll turn it off. Change it to my GTA text. This one to the shutdown. My GT text. Yeah, but I have to bring the down a bit, my down text a bit. So before I can bring it down, I have to lock my two models layer like that. So I'll click here, I'll lock it, click my female, and I'll lock it so that when I select it down like this and I bring it, I have to lock my palm trees because when I selected it, I realized it has selected it too. So I'll lock them. Let me select it like that. Yes, I've selected both. Then I bring it down like this. You can try use the text straight away, but I forgot to use the text straight away. That's the reason why I'm suffering like this. But you can use the text straight away. But the text name is price down. I didn't tell you, sorry. Price down, as you can see here. Price down. That is the GTA text. Yeah. Then let me type something here as Sun City. Yeah. Let me change the text to white. I think it's too close for me. I'll select 0. Okay. I'll go for 60 like that. Yes. Like this. Yeah. I'll place it below my female layer like that, and I'll change the blending mode to overlay. Then I'll duplicate it like 2 times. Then I bring it down here, bring this one to down here. Yeah. Yeah, I think it looks okay, but my text, the down text, look crowded and together. So I'll click on that. I go to properties. Now separate it a bit. So I'll go for 25. Yeah. Now select the down one to properties. I'll go to 25. I think it looks okay now, but you can add a lot of things to it. I just want to add this card to it. So I'll click on place. I just want to add this card to it. So this time around, I won't use my pen tool. I just want to select it straight away. So I rasterize it like this. I go to properties and I'll come to select my subjects. Photoshop didn't do a great job, so I have to refine my selection. Like, yeah. Since it has selected it, I have to hold Alt so that I can remove the selection like that, so that I can select only the car that I want. Hold Alt. Yeah. Yeah. I'll go to select, inverse, then I delete the background like that. Yeah. Select, select. Then I'll scale my car down like that. I'll place it here. Yeah. I think I have to apply my effects on it. That's rough pastels and poster edges. I'll click on OK. Yeah. Yeah. I think that is it for today, but you can add more to it. I think let me do something small here. I should. So add layer mask to my car like this. And make sure that I select my shutdown. So I'll right click and go to select pixels, and I'll select my car like this. And I'll select brush. I just want to delete the selected part. My flow is very low, so I have to bring it up, bring the hardness up. Have you seen it's erasing? But I don't want that part, so I'll inverse the selection. Select, inverse. Yeah, I want something like this, but not totally. So I'll bring in the ties and other stuff. So I'll change the foreground color to white to bring in some of the ties like this. Yes. Yeah. I think this is what I want. Let me erase this part small. No, I just want to add it. No, I just want to add it. Yeah, I think this looks nice. Going to select, deselect. Voila, I'm done. You can add more to it as you want.